Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be showcasing Feixiao without Robin. And for question of the day, since Jingyuin and Feixiao are eating literally right behind me, I'd love to know what is one of your favorite snacks or even one of your favorite foods. And if you guys enjoy videos like these, do consider subscribing to see more Star Rail content from me, and also leave a like to support the video. Now, let's get straight into it. For today's showcase, we're going to be showing off Feixiao, March 7th, Moze, and then Aventurine. I'm going to be showing you guys this super fun follow-up team, and I have just been loving Feixiao so much. She's just so freaking cool. I've been having a blast trying out this character, so let's just use our techniques and then get straight into it for today. And we're going to just use our tornado like so, and now we're in the fight. With Moze, what we're going to do is use our skill on the enemy in the middle. This enemy is so freaking annoying, so we want to get rid of him as soon as we can. So there we go. And then we're gonna give some super tasty boba to Feixiao. There we go. And I'm also going to use March's ultimate on this enemy in the middle right here. Okay, Aventurine's getting hit, and that's really good. Okay, so he's gonna do his follow-up, which is awesome, and then Moze is gonna do his follow-up. And now we get to do Moze's ultimate. And this ultimate is so freaking cool. I'm literally in love with the follow-up teams that I've been experimenting with. So we're gonna do his ultimate, and bam, there we go. And now this enemy's toughness meter is broken. So with Feixiao, what we can do is just use her skill. And then we're also going to use her ultimate in hopes that we're actually able to knock out this enemy pretty soon, or even with this ultimate right here. And now with Feixiao, we're going to be using her ultimate. Hopefully this is enough to knock out this enemy. Let's hope so. I hope I do not miss any of my crits, because that would honestly suck. Boom. Okay, I think we got it. Yay, we did it. Awesome. So now what we're gonna do is use March's enhanced basic attack on the horse. Bam. And now we are going to get hit in the face from the horse, but it's totally fine. And we are going to basic attack with Aventurine and then use his ultimate on the horse as well. Boom. And Feixiao is going to get hit, but this is okay. And now with Moze, we're going to inflict the praise state on this horse. Boom. All right, and then with Feixiao, unfortunately, we are going to have to hit this little guy right here, which honestly deserved, because why does he keep trying to scratch us up? I don't know. So we need to get rid of him. All right, there we go. And then March is going to come in, and our follow-ups are going to finish the job. And now with March, we're going to be able to basic attack, and then I can use Feixiao's ultimate. And March will have an enhanced basic attack just in case this does not kill. Okay, it did not kill. It was super freaking close. It's okay though. It's okay. We're just gonna do that. And now we're on to the next wave of enemies, and we're still in the 0 cycle, which is awesome. So what we're gonna be doing is focusing on Kafka right here. And we are also gonna use March's ultimate, just so one of the points that are above Moze's health bar do get consumed, just so we get closer to that follow-up attack, so we can really start up a follow-up party. That was so clutch because Aventurine did get advanced forward, so now we'll actually have an extra skill point for Feixiao, so that's awesome. And now what we could do is just basic attack her. Moze is going to come in, and then we can just use his ultimate. We're just trying to deal as much damage as possible to Kafka right here. The turbulence is going to come in, and now with Feixiao, I can use her skill. There we go. Boom. We're just gonna have so many freaking follow-up attacks. It's awesome. And now we can also use Feixiao's ultimate, and Kafka is going to be weakness broken. So let's just deal as much damage as possible, and boom. And now it's March's turn, and we can actually do another ultimate. I really wanted that other ultimate because now we're going to wither down Kafka's HP even more, which is awesome. So there we go. And bam! Okay, so she's at 29 health now. We're just going to inflict the praise state onto her once again and just keep focusing on her for right now. Okay, Aventurine's follow-up is gonna come up. And now with Feixiao, okay, let's see. Let's use Feixiao's skill on Kafka and just keep focusing on Kafka here. March got her ultimate, and I just love this ultimate. It's just so cute. Boom, there we go. Oh, cool. Moza actually got his ultimate too. So Kafka is literally almost dead at this point. All right. And oh my gosh, we're literally 5 out of 7. Okay. It's fine. So we are going to get attacked here. I am going to use Aventurine's ultimate. And I'm actually going to use his ultimate on the enemy to the left just so we can start targeting that enemy a bit more. Okay, so Mosa's going to get hit, but this is fine. We're just going to basic attack the enemy on the left. Oh gosh, we're getting attacked. Ah! We're literally getting torn apart by this thing's claws. These claws are super sharp now that I'm looking at them. Holy moly. Do you guys think if you were to run away from this thing, you guys would be fine? Because this thing does look pretty menacing, I'm not gonna lie. We are going to inflict the praise state now though on this enemy since Kafka is basically almost dead. We don't really have to focus as much on her. I am just gonna, use my skill and then my follow-up. And now Aventurine is going to come in as well. Boom. Now the turbulence is going to come in. And yeah, so this enemy is basically a goner at this point. And we're just going to use March's enhanced basic attack. And now we're also going to have 2 Feixiao ultimates ready to go. Yeah, I guess this thing isn't as menacing after all. So now we're just going to wrap this up, and I want to do this in normal speed because I absolutely love this ultimate. Feixiao is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters, and I absolutely love her. And we did it! Yay! We did it in 1 cycle. So let me show you guys the builds of this showcase real quick. Starting off with Feixiao, here are her stats. And with Feixiao, when you are building her once she is released, you want to focus on getting as much crit rate as possible on your Feixiao, because when she does use her ultimate, you 100% want to ensure that she is able to hit all of those critical hits. If you are lacking a bit in your crit damage ratio, this is honestly okay depending on what type of team comp you have, but in most scenarios, depending on who you are using with her, especially since she also has her self-buffing capabilities when it comes to crit damage, you should honestly be okay when it comes to that. So if your crit damage is a bit lower, that's perfectly fine. You want to aim for as close to 100% crit rate as possible, just once again so she can hit all of those critical hits. And with Feixiao, we are using her signature light cone for today's video, but if you do not want to pull for this one, here are some nice alternatives you can consider. For Feixiao's traces, they are maxed out. And then for her relics, we are using Duran Dynasty and the Wind Soaring set. And then here are some alternatives you can consider. For her Eidolons, she's completely E0. I have not activated any of these. Now if we go to Boba March 7th, I absolutely love this character. But of course, some of us just refer to her as Hunt March 7th. I just like calling her Boba March 7th though, just because of the fact that she does hand her teammates some very tasty boba. And with March, same thing. We have a good amount of crit rate, good amount of crit damage, and then here are the rest of her stats right here. With March, ideally having a good amount of crit rate will be very beneficial, especially if you are pairing her with Cruising in the Stellar Sea, which we did in today's video. This light cone definitely helps out with the crit rate section, so this is a really nice option for March in particular, but if you want to use a different light cone on her, here are some alternatives you can consider. For her traces, they are maxed out. For her relics, we are using the Musketeer Wild Wheat set, since majority of March's damage will be coming from those enhanced basic attacks. So that's why Musketeer is a really good set on her. Similar to Rutland Arena, it will increase her basic attack damage. So this is awesome as well. Plus also give her some additional crit rate when it comes to the Rutland set. But let's say you don't have these relics built up, here are some alternatives you can consider. For her Eidolons, she is E6, and what's really awesome is that once 2.5 comes out, you guys will also be able to E6 your March 7th, since we should be able to get her remaining Eidolons in the next update, which is awesome. And what's really cool about March's remaining Eidolons is that this E4 will give her some extra energy at the start of a turn, which is awesome just for ensuring that, let's say you're a little bit of energy off from getting her ultimate, this will be able to assist with this. And then when it comes to her E6, which I love the name name of this E6, me, the best girl in sight, which March is so adorable. She definitely is one of the best girls in sight. When you use her ultimate, it will increase the crit damage dealt by her next enhanced basic attack by 50%. And what's really good about this is, typically speaking, when you are playing March, you will want to use her ultimate and then of course have the enhanced basic attack afterwards, just so she's able to have some additional damage output with her enhanced basic attacks. So this is really nice just for being able to further increase the power of March. And honestly, she's just such a nice free-to-play character. I'm really happy that we were able to get her for free. She's been amazing. And I would love to know, have you guys built your Boba March yet, or have you guys been holding off so far? I do like the fact though that she does synergize pretty nicely with Feixiao, because of the fact that she will be able to make Feixiao her Shifu, which will increase Feixiao's speed, which now means for Feixiao's speed threshold, you actually can go a bit lower. So let's say you want that 134 threshold. Well, now you can actually go a bit lower than that because of the fact that March will be able to supply some additional speed. So that's a really nice benefit that March has. And what's really nice is that Boba March also has some additional aspects in her kit that can definitely help Feixiao's damage output. For example, when March uses her enhanced basic attack, this will increase the Shifu's crit damage by 60% and break effects by 36% for 2 turns. So as I mentioned a little earlier when I said that you can go a little lower on your crit damage values, March will definitely be able to help out with this, because whenever she does use that enhanced basic attack, now you're going to be able to have additional crit damage for Feixiao right here, and some additional other perks that March is going to be able to have, which I know this is a bunch of text, but March is also going to be able, let's actually just go to the Eidolon. For March's E2, after her Shifu uses a basic attack or skill to attack an enemy target, March will immediately unleash a follow-up attack. So what's really good about this is that when Feixiao, of course, unleashes her skill and then does a follow-up attack, now March is going to come in with her follow-up attack, and this can result in multiple follow-up attacks back to back, especially if you do hypothetically have another follow-up attacker on the team. I did actually already showcase March and Feixiao alongside Robin and Aventurine, which also shows this team comp played a little differently, just with March and Feixiao together instead without Moze. But what's really cool about this is that, let's say you are using this triple follow-up team, and then Moze is going to be able to also now unleash his follow-up attacks. So it's just a bunch of follow-up attacks back to back, which will allow you to deal quite a lot of damage onto an enemy just because of how many attacks are going to be inflicted onto that enemy. Another cool perk though is that March will also be able to reduce the toughness of enemies when the weakness type is the same as the Shifu's combat type. So what this means is, let's say all the enemies were wind weak but not imaginary weak. Well, that's no problem. March will still be able to reduce their toughness meters because of the fact that Feixiao will be her Shifu and Feixiao's element is wind. So this will allow March to reduce those toughness meters no matter what, which is definitely awesome just for being able to help contribute to breaking enemies faster and then of course dealing more damage onto them. So overall, I know I just talked a bunch about March, but just amazing free-to-play option for multiple team comps you can consider. I really like her on the follow-up team, especially with Feixiao. If you guys do not have Topaz, Moze and March are amazing options that you can consider. Or if you just want to play this super fun follow-up team, she's also an option for that as well. And then next up we have Aventurine, who is going to be our sustain for today's video, and here are his stats. For Aventurine's Lycone, we are using Moment of Victory, but here are some nice alternatives you can consider. For his traces, they are maxed out. For his relics, we are using Inert Salcedo, Knight of Purity Palace, and then Grand Duke. I did want this Aventurine to be a little more on the offensive end, so he can definitely help out with contributing damage to enemies as well. But here are some alternative relic and planar options you can consider. For his Eidolons, they are completely E0. I have not activated any of these. And when it comes to Aventurine, he's just a really nice option for those follow-up attacks, plus being able to inflict the unnerved debuff onto an enemy. This will allow allies, when they do attack that enemy, to have their crit damage dealt to that enemy increased by 15%. So this is really nice for additional damage output overall. And if you do not have Aventurine, honestly, it is a-okay. You can consider really any other sustain for the most part. If you do decide to use a character like Lushwen, for instance, she'll actually be able to help give the rest of our teammates some crit rate, which is really beneficial since all of them really benefit from crit rate. So that could be an option. You can also consider a character like Gallagher. Gallagher is able to attack enemies pretty frequently with his combination of using his basic attack and then using his ultimate, which will advance him forward by 100%, and then using his enhanced basic attack. So if you were to do this on an enemy that is inflicted with Moze's prey state, this will actually allow Moze to be able able to unleash those frequent follow-up attacks without really any problems, because of the fact that you are going to be able to attack that enemy so frequently, especially with how Gallagher is able to essentially attack 3 times in a row. So you can 100% consider Gallagher. He can also, of course, keep the team alive, which is really nice. When we do get Lingsha, I can absolutely see Lingsha also being a really nice alternative option because of the fact that she will be able to unleash follow-up attacks onto enemies, which can help with the attacking frequency of the team, which Feixiao highly wants due to the fact that she will get her Flying Aureus stacks from allies attacking enemies. Every 2 attacks by your allies will give her a Flying Aureus stack, and that's why this team comp in particular can honestly help battery Feixiao's ultimate really well, just because of how many follow-ups you will be able to unleash onto enemies. But yeah, when it comes to Aventurine, there are definitely alternatives you can consider for sure. And lastly, we have Moze, which Moze will be on Feixiao's banner, which is absolutely awesome because this means you will more than likely have a very good opportunity to get him. And if you do get him and you don't have Topaz, he is a really nice alternative to consider. Real quick, if we were to look at Moze's stats, here they are. For today's video, Moze is running Worrisome Blissful, which I absolutely love this light cone art, by the way. The cats are just so freaking cute. And then there's Numby right in the upper left corner. I just absolutely love this artwork of this light cone right here. When it comes to alternative light cone options, here are some that you can consider. When it comes to the traces, they are maxed out. When it comes to the relics, we are running Duran Dynasty and Ash Blazing Grand Duke, and here are some nice alternatives that you can consider on Moze. And for Moze's Eidolons, we do have all of them activated. For Moze's E2, this is really nice just for the increased crit damage. For Moze's E4, this is really good because it will increase the damage dealt by Moze by 30% after he uses his ultimate. And this will also last for 2 turns, which is really good because of the fact that Moze will enter the departed state majority of the time in battle. You will heavily be able to take advantage of this buff. And then also for his E6, he will increase the damage multiplier of his talent's follow-up attack by 25%, and this is nice for additional damage output as well. And his E1 is also pretty handy because you will be able to regenerate 20 energy to start a battle, which means Moze will be able to get closer to unleashing his ultimate very early into a fight, which means if you do have the E4 as well, now you're going to be able to activate this buff very early on in a fight, and he will also be able to regenerate 2 extra energy each time additional damage from his talent is triggered. So Moze, honestly, he is another awesome 4-star. I honestly love what Star Rail has been doing with our recent 4-stars. We have Boba March, we have Moze, we have Gallagher. They have been doing so good with these 4-stars. And if you're wondering if I recommend building Moze, absolutely. I think he's a really nice option if you are planning to use him on a follow-up type of team, especially with the team with Feixiao, because he will definitely be able to help out with getting those Flying Aureus stacks for her ultimate, since this is where a huge chunk of her damage output will be coming from. So I just wanted to show you guys this team today because it does have, of course, Boba March, who is a free-to-play character, Moze, who is going to be on Feixiao's banner, and then also Aventurine, who can honestly be replaced for someone else. I just like using Aventurine because he's one of my favorite sustains alongside Hua in the game. So I definitely like Aventurine for sure when it just comes to his capabilities for keeping the team alive, being able to increase the damage output of the team, and so on. And then, of course, Feixiao, who is our powerhouse as well, who synergizes very nicely with these other characters. So I definitely think this team is just very fun overall and honestly performed pretty nicely, I would say. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, do consider subscribing to see more Star Rail content from me, and also leave a like on the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.